How can a known poison that exists in our food supply, our medications, and sometimes even in the air we breathe, be totally overlooked as the cause of disease in America? Watch us daily and soon you too will know the cause.
Hi, I'm Carol Kettering from the Health Food Center in Oklahoma City. I've lost over 100 pounds with the Phase 1 diet. Life has just changed. You've changed so many people's lives. You've changed my life. We just love you, and I think America loves you tons and tons. And here's Doug Kaufmann.
And thank you, Carol, for that wonderful introduction. By the way, we're all laughing around here. The guys and I were laughing. Whole lot of estrogen today. Sprinkle on little testosterone. That's me, your host. But starting with Carol, and then we go to Kat James, who has written a book on how deep is beauty really? Skin deep? Does it go all the way to the intestines? Listen to what she says about probiotics. And then a wonderful doctor drops in, Diane Harper. Dr. Harper is one of the world's renowned authorities on the HPV virus. Do we vaccinate our daughters or don't we? She had a lot to say about that, and her beginnings in this is really interesting. We were honored to have her here. And then Caryn Talty, we got her on the phone. Caryn has a child who is sick with tummy and brain disorders. So guess what she did? You won't want to miss a second of today's Know the Cause. Okay, right now joining us on the air is a special friend of ours, and I don't think I've ever shaken her hand, but Caryn attended a meeting, and at the meeting I lectured. This was a meeting on neurological problems, autism, and so forth, Tourette's syndrome and so forth in children. Caryn was there as an interested mom, nothing better than a mother who loves her children but sees a small defect in the child and wants to fix it without drugs or surgery. And the reason she's on with me right now is we just happened onto a brilliant article that she wrote online, healthy-family.org is a website that she has. Caryn, are you there?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Listen to the headline. The corn we eat is infested with mycotoxic fungi. When you wrote something like that, I'll bet your readers said, what? Corn? That's un-American.
Yeah, probably. I imagine many of them did. Most of the readers on that website suffer from celiac disease, which is an allergy to the gluten found in wheat products.
Yeah, and Caryn, is that where your heart came into all this? You had a personal experience, I think. Your son may have celiac disease.
Correct.
Your story is so fascinating because off you went at the suggestion of a friend and had his blood drawn, and you had what's called an IgG food test, a whole panel of 80 foods or so forth that were tested on him. And what were those findings?
Well, curiously, I discovered after I heard you speak at the conference last May in Dallas that all of the foods that he reacted to were highly moldy foods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that he reacted to foods. He had a very high reaction to wheat, a very high reaction to corn. He reacted to peanuts. He reacted to chocolate. He had brewer's yeast. Many of the foods that I now have come to learn are highly moldy foods.
And Caryn, there's a reason for that. I'm the guy who brought that test out some 30 years ago. The antigens that we test, right? The corn, the brewer's yeast, the peanuts, it's not the pure peanut antigen. It's peanuts that were taken from a farm in Georgia and put on a plate to test, and they are impregnated with this mold. So what people react to is not peanuts, is not corn, is not brewer's or baker's yeast. It's yeast, it's mold, it's mildew. So that was kind of a tap on your shoulder, Caryn, that, okay, after hearing Doug, maybe this does make sense. Now, did he have Tourette's and celiac disease?
He was diagnosed with what they call a chronic multifocal tic disorder.
Okay.
And we put him on a special diet because we took him to a neurologist who wanted to put him on drugs. And he was about almost 4 years old at the time we took him to the neurologist, and he had had symptoms for about 7 months. And it was pretty chronic. And he also had signs of OCD and hyperactivity. And I'm a former special education teacher, so I kind of knew the road that we were headed down, and I just did not want to go that way. So my husband and I left the neurologist's office, and we were determined to get to the root of this problem and figure out what we can do to help him so that 6 months down the road, when it was time to prescribe him that medication, it wouldn't be necessary anymore.
Were the doctors, have you had that meeting already?
Yeah, actually, we never went back to the neurologist because he's cured. We don't need to go back. I don't frequent any doctor at all anymore, except for my general practitioner, who's wonderful, who fully supports what we're doing and assists us with any type of vitamin, mineral regime that we need to be on.
And you had a question for me, Caryn, and that was, is this curable? Is this condition curable?
Right.
Since it was probably antibiotic-induced, when he was a baby, did he have antibiotics?
He did.
Yeah.
I nursed him for the first year of his life, and after
Good.
I weaned him and started putting him on solid foods, and I did what every other mom does. I bought the Gerber baby products and that type of stuff, and he started to develop chronic infections. And now when I look back on it, I see that he ate a lot of products with dairy and with gluten and with corn in them, and that probably contributed because
Caryn,
we know that genetically he's gluten intolerant.
Right. The longer he stays on a grain-free diet, the sooner I think this problem can be reversed. Remember also, if antibiotics induced it, probiotics are going to be necessary to help him along. And don't be shy of good, safe probiotics. Keep him on a grain-free diet and see what happens. This was Caryn, who has written this wonderful column and attended my lecture. Caryn, thank you so much for being with us today, and that's a wonderful testimony.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.